So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution, another live stream done with the intention of sharing love, both with you and with myself. It's Wednesday, or Dance Day as I like to call it. And I do these dance days genuinely from a place of extreme gratitude. I made the intention of doing it every single Wednesday as basically like a Patreon tier saying thank you on Wednesdays. So this is a thank you to you, friends. A thank you during the new year. Goodness, I'm getting a little bit coffee. Sam, Joy Viven, Kristen, thank you, friends, for being here. To the friends joining us, coming up, let's play some music, shall we? I know the first two, but I do not know the third. Hey, Luke. Are you ready to dance, bro? You gonna dance with me? I want to get some of that tree in. I really love the way this tree looks. But I want to get some of the footwork. Let's see if like that much. That should be good. You're like superhuman tall. Get another perspective. Let's see how this changes things. I think the tall helps. Actually, that ain't it, Chief. Hey, Simon. You dancing with us, bro? I hope so. I don't know this song, so we're gonna have to figure out how to dance to it together, okay?
Don't stop, turn that up, take it higher. Take this mother up, start a fire. Don't stop, turn that up, take it higher. Take this mother up, start a
I'm gonna have to use my fingers, aren't I? How dare you, technology? How dare you not work flawlessly all the time and forever? It's coming back. I believe. I'm believing. Sack the DJ. There's no empty dome. Yeah, hey, Melita. Drink water. Yeah, that's nice. Merci. Thank you. All of that shenanigans was a thank you to you. Yes, you. Yes, you who thinks, no, not me. Yes, you. John is here too. Yes, you. So much love to all of you. It's Wednesday. There's no empty. There's so much love. I'm gonna have to ground myself, become one with myself once again. Missy to you, Missy to you, Simon. Take a breath, or 16. Set my things. For the first time in a long time, my hands have more wounds than my feet do. Do you want to play Count the Wounds? Let's play Count the Wounds. Just for funsies. I had to notice as well today. Is this white gonna be big enough? We have 1 and 2 and 3. This is one. Burnt myself on something. That's an old cut. There's one there. There's one there too. It feels conflicting. Oh goodness. I'm so sorry about that. It feels very conflicting because on the one side, I know I'm sustaining damage. But on the other side, I know I'm sustaining damage while doing something that I love. So it makes me feel good instead. Does that make any sense? I hope so. I'm going to get myself set up. I'll give you friends this scene. And already healing, Brother Bear. Hearing the word healing. Can we just all take a moment to embody the word healing? What does that mean to you? What does that feel like? What does that look like? What is your facial expression when you experience healing? What are the things that you would like healed? I was embodying that for a bit. Is Pippi in frame? I hope so. She's a little bit, yay! You're sitting really well done. You look like a little mushroom, Pippi, popping out of the ground. Let me make like so. There we go. Now they can really see you. I don't know that, but I believe. I'm on the other side of the angle right now. I need to dance more. Like I want to start a new schedule where I do like 1 hour of dancing a day. I don't know if I'll film it though. Might be a way to get extra motivated. Today's stream topic is about what you can do when there's nothing that can be done. We find ourselves in times like that, where there's wars and exploitation. And as a single person, it's very difficult to, I want to put in quotes, make a difference. Because you do make a difference, but the difference you think you ought to make is hard to make. Right? But instead of feeling guilty about that, about not making a big enough difference, I believe we have a responsibility to feel grateful for this opportunity, for our circumstances, right? You might not be able to help people in war-stricken countries right now, and you might find yourself in a peaceful space, right, where there's no bombs dropping on you. So are you gonna feel bad about that? Oh man, if only bombs were dropping on me as well, then I would be compassionate, empathetic enough. Instead, occupying within the universe a state of gratitude because you believe it is bad, that isn't the case for other people, right? If you believe suffering is bad, suffering is bad in any circumstance, anywhere in the world, why cause yourself suffering? Why not be grateful instead? And we had like a conversation about suffering, I think yesterday, day before yesterday. Still very much on my mind, but this one I feel is a little bit more tangible, right? Let me get my comments open. I see you friends being so active. It's making my heart so warm. Now you friends are chatting. There we go. She is in tackle mode. Oh, Javad, I missed you in my greeting. It's okay. Thank you, Lavazana, for making sure she knows she's seen. I wouldn't ever know it's Wednesday without the wiggles. These things, these anchors in reality, right? Like, and I was having this conversation with my dad yesterday. It was yesterday where he asked me what's my plan for this year. And kind of like, what's your resolution, And I basically articulated that I do plan on eating a little bit more conscientiously this year. In part because I'm going to be buying my own food, right? Not so much from the financial perspective, but from the I'm actually physically going to be going to the grocery store to buy the food, right? Where that usually isn't the case. So that's going to make a difference as well. Where was I going with this? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm instantly lost. Oh yeah, schedules, right? And I mentioned to him that I want to, start basically a schedule with my food as well, because I feel I thrive when I have a schedule, right? Yoga, 3:30, stream at 4, my flower before I sleep. And before I start my yoga and stuff, I have like a shower schedule, right? So implementing a food schedule into that pattern isn't going to be that far stretched, and it's going to serve me well because I need some structure. Otherwise, I melt through the cracks, right? If you're going to melt something down, make sure you have a rigid mold to recast yourself in so that you can fill that void well and stay there or something, you know? When there's nothing that can be done, that is what you can do, is create structure for yourself, right? Maybe on top of the gratitude, we can just give ourselves something to do, because I feel like that really is the killer. It's just that sense of powerlessness, right? That you can't do anything to make anything better. So again, if that's how you feel right now, it's of the utmost importance, and it's your responsibility to make yourself feel a little bit better, because in that world, there's a little bit less bad, right? That is causing this sense of out of control. Me being out of control. I can't do anything. So do something for yourself, please. Please, you deserve it. Create structure. You'll appreciate it, even though it's counterintuitive. Pippi looks judgy this morning. Pippi has been on like a little bit of a trip as of late. She's been pretty trippy. Look at her, me like, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you, sweetie. I'm talking about you, sweetie. I'm talking about my sis. Such a cutie patootie, such a beautiful dogger. Oh, so pretty. Such a pretty dog. Such a pretty dog. Yeah, maybe you're judgy. Maybe you're projecting right now. Like that. Are you feeling a little bit judgy right now? Pippi is trying to win back all of our approval. It's just like, look at me. Look at me. Me, the sweetest little dogger that eateth grass, could never do such a thing. No, not me. I am just grass eater. I chompy the grass. I adore her so much. It's gonna hurt having to leave her here. Part of me wants to take her with. I might be able to get away with it. I don't know if my parents will approve. I'll have to ask Ruda. Technically, she's Ruda's dog. Technically. Technically, yes. Ruda's dog. Inkling. Inkling. Oh. The problem is, if I'm gonna be away working, I mean, John's mom will probably be home. That's true. We'll see. We'll see, puppy. We'll see how the stars align, okay? You don't even know. You don't even know. You're just living in an absolute bliss world. You have a human being giving you ear scritches while you chew grass. What could go wrong, hmm? What could go amiss with this picture? Capitalism, Pippi. It's capitalism. It's coming for us, Pippi, please. Please, save yourself. I don't know if that was a no. Okay, enough distraction. Thank you for the top quality entertainment, Pippi. Oh, no, 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 no. Melty, it's almost Rumi's time, bro. My mind is viscerally aware of this change coming, and it's like, it's taking me on a ride a little bit. Like I realize how quickly my priorities changed, John. Is it priorities? Maybe standards. Standards, I think, is the right word. Right? Because I have lived in the city before, a few times. And every single time I did live in the city, I didn't have a problem with it. You know, living in an apartment on like the 3rd floor. But this year, I have intentions. Me and the sun have a romantic date planned for this year, dude. We're gonna be spending hundreds. Is it thousands? Thousands of hours together, actually. And I need a direct line of sight. And I also need other people to not have a direct line of sight. Yeah. We're going to have to check things out. That one place, even though it might not be ideal, it might not be as modern. That's the big thing. I saw a few modern places, bro, that looked really nice. Like, I was like, that place is not that nice. However, each of us having our own bedroom, and those are big bedrooms as well, bro. That place is big, it seemed. And it's something like what? 490 bucks? 490 bucks a month. And it's gonna be for 4 people because there's 4 bedrooms. That's pretty impressive. It kind of blows my mind. How about South Africa? Me doing my, you know, customary. I want to say like contractual, like it's a joke, you know, like I'm some sort of South African AI, super advanced AI that basically just tries to lure people from first world countries to South Africa so that they can bring their wealth to this country. You know, so how about you come to South Africa? You can have a 4-bedroom house for like 490 bucks a month. And technically, this house also has like a relatively big piece of property, more than enough property to grow your food and then some, right? For 490 bucks. It kind of blows my mind. It's still expensive in South African monies. It's still pretty expensive, but it's not bad. No. Let me see, I think I am far behind. There we go. Starting to look like my hands. Young blood. Yeah, bro, that's the thing that I was thinking about as well. I knew that, you know, I was like thinking Joe Schmo and Duck Dad would totally understand what's happening here, bro. And it's not like you're doing it on purpose. This just kind of like happens, and then you're like, oh, how about oh, now I have wounds, and like the gloves take away so much, bro. I tried the gloves. I tried the gloves to work the soil, and because I've been like wedging pieces of dirt up my nails, and it's not that fun, unfortunately. However, putting gloves on ruins the experience for me. Like the tactility and like the, I don't know, the life feels like you're working with life, right? It's like you have life in your hands, you know. And then if you have like a glove on, it feels like, you know, it's like completely separate almost. I've been relentlessly scrubbing my nails, and like I'm watching this like fractal, like from this perspective, getting to sit down right now, watching myself operate over the last few days. You know, like the last like 5 days. You know, I've just been like operating with my bags. They're almost full at this point. I got the last of my ingredients today. I got some worms. Had this whole like conversation with my dad and with, you know, my mom and my brother and my sister at the dinner table last night. We went to this little hardware place yesterday with my dad to get some of my stuff that I needed for my plants, and went to this place, asked if they had worms, you know, because I saw them having like tackle and like fishing rods and stuff. So I asked them if they had worms, and this guy gave me this number of this other guy, and he told me, call this guy and he'll get you some worms. It was very much like drug dealing. Like all of the experience I have of having gone through, you know, like shady deals, it was very much like that, but buying worms, you know. And it just showed me that the only thing that's really shady about it is the distrust or the not knowing of the person that is offering you the service, right? And like the reason it feels less than shady when you're buying from a business is because there's that rapport and that familiarity or whatever, right? And I get my worms today, and it's like 100 worms for $5, like $5.50 or something like that, right? So in South African rand, it works out to 1 rand a worm, and there is technically earthworms in the earth here around us, right? And my dad is like prompting me, encouraging me basically to just get a pitchfork and like unearth earthworms from the garden. And I go, no. And he's like, why would you pay $5 for 100 earthworms when they're already here? And I go, because in my world, I would not unearth 100 worms, right? Because I don't know if you've done that, but it can be pretty strenuous work getting, you know, dirt completely tilled, especially if it's this dirt where it's completely hard. Getting dirt tilled to get like maybe, and you're like basically shooting for landmines, hopefully getting 1 worm. Right, so that, and I have to do that 100 times over in order to save $5. I'm like, no, no, the $5 for me is worth less than the amount of work I would have to put in to get the same amount of worms. And the guy who sells the worms probably has like a big compost heap where he, you know, composts his food, and he definitely does, because I saw the quality of the dirt he brought the worms in, you know, and you know, he wants to make some money out of that, right? So he has the worms already on the ready, and I have the money already on the ready. So an exchange happens. So I got to put 10 worms each in each of my bags as well. And the amount of visceral joy that brought me was kind of, I don't know if alarming is the right word, but it gave me pause, where I was like standing by watching these little worms find their new home, you know, swimming into the freaking dirt. And I was like, yeah, yeah, little worms, you doing You go and do that. You go and live there in that dirt. It makes me so happy. And I had this conversation with my brother last night, going through this whole process, mentioning to him that it really feels like I am rediscovering a part of myself. And then he mentioned to me, eindelijk het je nog altijd gehouden van een planten te groeien. When I was a little boy, like that, it directly translates to, you have basically always loved planting things. Like when I was a little boy, I would unearth these, I don't even know what they're called anymore. They're these gespukkelde, like spotted, green-leaved knolplanten. A knoll is like a pod. Is that what you call it? Like a root ball? I think it's a root ball. I think that's what you call it in English. Like these root ball plants with these soft green leaves and these black little spots on them. And I was so fascinated with unearthing a patch of them and then breaking those little root balls apart and then replanting those little root balls and watching those patches then restart, And then I had like, I took like one small patch and I turned it into like 16 more patches, and it like melted my brain. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I can like put things in the ground and they manifest more. It was trippy to me. And I think for my sixth or my seventh, no, maybe like eighth Christmas, my mom bought me this whole like bonsai kit with like small little shovels and a small little pitchfork and these scissors and like branch shears and stuff like that. And I kind of became an internet kid, like I moved from outside inward, when I was about 9, 10-ish. Didn't go outside as much anymore because I figured out that I actually don't like being dirty. And the only reason I don't like being dirty is because of stuff like this, right? Like I scrub those nails and those dirts are still like lodged in there. And it causes me a sense of embarrassment, one, right? Makes me feel unclean. And like all of this mental stuff, is again just like ego kind of getting involved. Having a mom that's like really clinical and she's like, I wasn't allowed as a kid, when I was like that little kid playing in the dirt, I wasn't allowed to start just eating my food. I had to like scrub my hands clean. And like that experience of having to scrub my hands clean felt like the bad part of all of the fun I just had outside, and stopped completely. And then when I turned 17, was it 17? 18, I started planting marijuana plants. And that was like almost like my reintroduction into actually growing things. But it still felt disconnected. It still felt like I was growing things as a utilitarian, I was like getting job done, do thing, and I was like dreading it. I didn't enjoy it. Like I was just doing it because it needed to be done kind of vibe. And then I stopped growing again. Last year we didn't grow anything, like at all. I mean, that's not completely true. I did grow something, but it wasn't a plant. I grew fungi. That was fun as well, but it was different. It was a lot more hands-off, actually, relatively speaking. It wasn't that much work if you take the whole experience into consideration. And this time around, coming back to it like with the new year, coming back to it, being able to afford things, being able to actually buy stuff, right? Being able to buy the things. And that's thanks to you, friends, right? Like you're putting me in this position to afford these things as well. It just feels like I'm investing in my soul, if that makes any sense. Like this. And Joe Schmo said it as well, actually. I think the last stream we talked about it. Like there's a certain, spiritual essence that is activated when you put your hands in dirt and you cultivate the land. I don't think we have to grow all our own food, but I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it. Maybe grow some of our own food. I feel like if anything, if all of us can just start growing blueberry bushes, right? Just that. If we can all just do that, just start growing blueberry bushes. Then you have blueberries. I want to say on tap because it's fun to say. I want blueberries on tap. I want a lever that I can pull with a cup that deposits blueberries. And I just never want it to stop. I will literally subside off of blueberries. I will just eat blueberries if I could. I think it wouldn't be that bad actually. I don't think I'd die. At least not quickly. I still probably would need something that has some protein in it. Something wrong with my mind, bro. It goes to some dark places sometimes where I'm like, oh no, I can't eat any other food other than blueberries. And then my mind goes, people aren't food. Eat people. And I'm like, no, dude, please. Yeah, can't say shit like that. Oh, bro, I need to come back to it. I'm already so far behind again. I'm so sorry, friends. I'm definitely lost in the sauce today, it seems. But I'm having a good time with you, friends. I think it's the dancing, like, and the sitting down. I did actually puff a little bit of strawberry runs just before dancing because I felt super heavy, like so, like dragging myself through the mud. I've been bending down a lot today, so much so that my brain is starting to like consider pieces of technology where I'm like, do I need an exoskeleton that has like pads that come up all the way to my chest to support my weight so I don't have to strain my lower back so much, where I'm like, I'm going through like this like narrative. I remember Doug Dad talking about that stuff as well, you know, like wanting one of those exosuits. They're coming, bro. Have you seen them? Go and just search, you know, all of the exosuits that are actually being produced right now. There's a bunch of them. They look really cool. And they're getting cheaper. They're still not cheap, but they're getting cheaper. Num, 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 num. Starting to look like my hands young blood. I had a proper regular workout today for an hour. Some proper yoga for another hour. Didn't expect to be jumping around now, but it needed to be done. Bless. Thank you, Melito, for dancing with me, dear friend. Yeah, weirdly enough, you know, something that is kind of like misunderstood about exercise is the fact that it can give you energy. You know, I was like pretty low energy before all of that dancing, and it did kind of like bring a little bit more life into my being instead of zapping more of it. Because when you're tired and you feel lethargic, the last thing you want to do is exercise, right? Because in your mind, it's like, oh, if I exercise now, I'm going to be even more tired and even more lethargic when it's rarely the case. Almost removes times, healing the heels. I feel the field growing. It really is getting green, right? We got another 20 mils of water last night. Man, time is really weird to my brain right now. It feels like I'm kind of dissociative with how much time has passed. Because it feels like everything has already been like so long ago, and yet it was last night. Where I'm like, oh yeah, last night it rained like a lot again. And I had to move my plants underneath that little thing and get them even though I know it's last night, it still feels like it was so long ago. I wonder if, you know, being busy with your hands changes your time perception or the way you really perceive the amount of time that has passed. Perhaps Mel can explain his boo-boos to Pippi. Pippi isn't really the damage dealer, fortunately. Most of it is like me scratching myself against the bottom of bins, you know, when I'm mixing dirt. So excited for you too, Melton John. Can't wait for the adventures to unfold. It's coming. It's going to be an experience. We'll get to have more guests on stream probably as well this year going forward, which is just going to be fun. Do you friends like it? Actually, let me know. Do you like it when there's a guest? I know I tend to be a little bit less present with you friends because I try to give the same presence I give you to this person sitting next to me, because it's like the highest bandwidth way for me to be giving someone energy. So let me know if you actually enjoy the guest being on stream. Healing right now for me hurts. I think I've been asking too much of my knee, and it's protesting, along with the hip and the foot and that same leg. Yoga was so hard today. Oh dear Louisiana. Do you have access to body of waters? It might be too cold for that right now. I don't know why that's the first place my mind went, but yeah, I'm so sorry, dear friend. For what it's worth, it hurting is a good sign, right? I do believe so. If it's hurting, your brain and your body is aware of that place and it is being tended to. If it was numb and you could just continue without having to worry about it, kind of like run yourself to the ground, I think that would be worse. Thank you for still showing up, dear friend. Don't push yourself too hard. I'm sorry, LA. Thank you for the love as well, Javiv. We don't harp on shit in yoga, but pain means stop. It's different from other workouts. If you feel pain, you need to stop. You could hurt yourself. Love is true. Thank you, Sam, for being so considerate. Just existing makes a difference, absolutely. And I feel like that is the truth, right? That is ultimately the truth that we're kind of here to accept today. Like, that is what you can do. If you think you can't do anything, then just do you, exist, continue living, right? Because again, if you think that the death happening in the world is bad, or the pain, or the suffering, or the exploitation, or the bad living conditions, then the best thing you can do is to not perpetuate that, right? To perpetuate you as the living, to not die. So please realize the significance of just simply existing. You are so loved. Never forget. I feel like every single time I get a comment that for some reason skips me down a lot. Yeah, okay, the last comment I get to read is, Doug, there was a Billy Bob Thornton movie that I thought put it very well. You cannot help yourself because yourself sucks. As in, self-help books are useless. People need other people. I can actually agree with that. You friends have helped me significantly more than any book could have been able to. Vermiculture, yes, true. I was reading vermiculite for a second. I can't wear work gloves. I need contact of what I'm creating, which is why my hands look like a zombie movie. It is unfortunate, but it seems to be the way, brah. Maybe we'll figure out some sort of, again, nano skin, right? Where you have a layer of skin over your layer of skin. A layer of skin that can peel off and refurbish itself and then reapply itself onto yourself. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to the point where I have that technology. I don't know if I'm going to have to invent it myself. I hope not. I hope there's smarter people than me with more resources and more drive than me that does things faster than I can. I really hope for that. But if that's not the case, then damn it, I'm going to make myself nanite skin. I'm going to see it through. One step at a time to nanite skin. I can't love again. Can't imagine having such troubles finding worms. Damn. Yeah, worms are good. They definitely serve a crucial function. I don't know how important it is to have worms in your cannabis pots, but I mean, it means something to me, all right? So that's important, really. Coincidentally, last night, I actually mixed my first batch of seeds, starting mix for the year. Nice for the bear. Bless you and your seedlings, man. May they all sprout, and may they be healthy and strong. The year 2024 is going to be a good one for all of us. Melt got that worm plug. I do. His name is saved in my phone as name Worms. So if I ever am in need of worms, I'll just go right to my freaking cell phone contact list and I'll type in worms and I'll get worms. You need worms? I know a guy. Seriously. I know a guy. I do actually know a guy. So you're saying your dad wants you to dig a hole. He did. And I was like, nay. I shan't. Because, like, and this is me being now actually a hippie, you know, look at me being super righteous. Those worms need to be in the dirt where I would dig them out. That's where they need to be because they're serving a function. They're doing a job. That's worms with jobs, yo. Can't be taking him out of his workplace, putting him in a new space, in a new like cubicle. No, that's unacceptable. But these are cubicle worms. They were born and raised in a cubicle. They don't know the outside world. I'm starting to feel bad again. I don't know how I feel about this cubicle analogy. I'm sorry, worms. I'm sorry. I hope it's good work. I mean, you know what? It's good. It's good dirt. Honestly, I would rather live in that dirt I made than I would live in this dirt. You know, so maybe it's like a luxury apartment. Yeah, I'm locking them in a luxury apartment with like really cool tenants. They do like the roots, right? Hey Google, do earthworms like marijuana plants? That's not what I asked, bro. They're asking, they're giving me compost advice where they're like, yeah, you can feed the leaves to your worms. No, not what I'm asking. And now like the rest of the information is like worm castings. I know worm castings. I mean, I'm like, maybe I'm taking like a step back. Instead of putting the worm castings in, I'm putting the worms in. You know, little auto casting generators. I feel like I'm lost right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring it back together. I'm trying. Okay, here we are. Simon, I hate that feeling of lotion on my hands. Lather it is. I also don't actually enjoy the feeling of lotion on my hands. I do not enjoy the feeling of crusty, dry hands that are feeling like stiff either. So, you know, I feel like it's a pick your poison kind of deal, you know, which is the worst evil. Hey, Zano, bless you. It's nice seeing your name here, friend. I wish I wore gloves shoveling the skate park. Got blisters on my palms, breaking the ice. Luke, I hope you heal fast, dear friend. Same, Mel. My parents used to call me a little horticulture lady. I lived in the garden. That's probably who we were supposed to be, Lozana. But no, we had to live in a society. Tisk tisk. I actually wouldn't give it up. I like living in a society, to be honest. I just feel we need to reestablish. I wanted to say get back to our roots. I don't think we have lost our roots, technically. I think we can see humanity as like a grapevine or just a vine, right? Like DNA spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. But like the roots, the things that established us as human beings on this planet, even though they're not as active anymore, the spiral of the vine can still continue because it still has roots anchored. But if that vine touches ground, if you ground yourself, you can put down roots. You can become a part of this world again. You can see yourself as one with it. And it is a process that I feel is going to be required of us. And maybe putting down roots can be quite literally growing something. Growing food, growing weed, growing herbs. Yeah. I'm trying to imagine, is there like a really simple way to let people grow things? Like a really, really simple. There could be like almost like a comically small auto flower that you can recommend for people that can like grow a plant that would only be like that big that they can put in like their window. That would be pretty cool actually. Vacuuming and sleeping in. Loving you. If the worm guy's smart, he is doing a worm bin and also making money on the worm castings. That's the black gold. Oh yeah. I technically got a little bit of worm casting with my worms. I was happy about that. It smelled pretty stinky, you know, in a good way. Good for you, sleeping in, bless. I was bummed, but they weren't as bad as I thought, already better. Bless, Luke, I'm happy to hear that. I feel you. This year I bought my house. The previous owners didn't plow, so my driveway was 2 inches solid ice. 290 feet long. but 30 feet wide. I was chipping ice until my hands bled. Bruh. I don't know how I feel about that. You see, like, I hear stuff like that, and then I'm like, maybe the heat isn't that bad, actually. Maybe it's kind of nice. Maybe actually warm is better. You know, I'd rather deal with warm than. What's that, 2 inches that you mentioned? 2 inches of solid ice. I've never seen that, right? Like, just think about that. In my world, you might as well be lying. If I didn't have the internet and I didn't know there were other climates, I would be like, not a chance, bro. What are you talking about, man? It's not possible. Cannot be. How is the ice gonna form, bro? Have you felt how warm it is outside? Dude, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, man. No gardening gloves around, Mel. No, there are. There are. They just don't feel good. They don't feel as tactile. I feel like I lose too much information. The sounds hellish, like when hell freezes over, I guess, 100%. Gently separating my tomato plant roots when they grow together in the fir seedling tray is one of my favorite parts of growing. You are a complex and interesting man, Duck Dan. I don't know why, but that that part gives me an extreme amount of anxiety because I tend to be very oversensitive with how sensitive the plants are. You know, and I'm like, oh, don't get hurt. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for touching you. You know, that's how I feel when I see roots. You know, when I see roots, like when I try to transplant plants and I see roots on the outside without me even touching them, I feel bad for them for seeing light where I'm like, I'm so sorry. Don't die on me. I only did like 500 tomato plants last year. Soul satisfaction. The change is on its way. Love is true. New Earth. Blueberries everywhere. Yes. Yes. I would subscribe to New Earth. I would become a New Earthian if the promise was only every single household has like unlimited blueberries. There's so much blueberries in the world that there's an explosion of blueberry flavored candy made with blueberry sugars and blueberry drinks and blueberry milkshakes and blueberry ice creams. And then there's an explosion of that as well. And then we start feeding blueberries to all of our livestock, and that, you know, adds like a beautiful, you know, terpene, blueberry terpene profile. And then we have too much blueberries still. I would like bury the earth in blueberries before my blueberry satisfaction is satiated. I love blueberries so much. It's a problem. Like, I want to start eating blueberries daily, starting this year as well, actually. It's gonna cost me 15 Rand, between 15 and 20 Rand a day. So let's work on the 20 Rand because that's a little bit more expensive. So it's gonna be 600 Rand a month, which is like 30 to 35 bucks. 35 bucks to, yeah, 35 bucks to eat blueberries, 100 grams of blueberries every day. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Maybe I could give you an idea, like a measuring stick for what blueberries cost in South Africa. Got a drop early today. So much love-ins to you too, Kristen. Thank you. You are loved and worthy, dear friend. It's always a blessing having you here. Growing your own food is cool and all, but there's something so absolutely satisfying about ethically foraging and identifying all the other food at our feetsies. Yes, I would love to go and forage for chicken of the woods and then to cook that as a meal. I've never had that. I wanted to say fungus and mushroom at the same time, and it came out as mungus for a second in my mind. It like almost left my mouth. I've never tried that fungus. Chicken of the woods. Hey Google, can you show me chicken of the woods? So I can show you, friends. It's beautiful. Look at this. We're gonna, so look, any second now. It's gonna be so great when we get to look at it. Are you searching me right now? Why are you like this? What did I do? What did I, what did I do? There we go. It's working. Actually, let me go back here. Our Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be very responsive. Suddenly, my GPT code interpreter is buffering. It's opening. It's happening slowly but surely. I could show you like that photo. Maybe I could while it's loading. Look at that. That is chicken of the woods. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if it inspires you to want to eat it, but apparently it tastes great. They call it chicken of the woods for a reason. Bro, these photos are not loading real quick, are they? Like if I go foraging with someone and we suddenly walk in on something like that, you know, like we're feeding ourselves and our friends for like 2 weeks kind of vibe. Here comes the thunder. So beautiful. Get that chimkin of the woods. Alrighty. No. I call them to, when I write labels on my fruit for the freezer, I usually write bloobs. That actually sounds pretty cute. The blueberries, the bloobs. Mel speaking to me today. Bless you, Duck Dad. May you feel seen and appreciated, Brother Bear. A combination of garden and the wild foraging knowledge is awesome. Absolutely. Blueberries are challenging, and honestly, I don't even know if they can grow in a hot place like South Africa. They do. We actually have a blueberry farm, contractual blueberry farm, here in Groblersdal, where I'm living. That's why I get the blueberries for relatively cheap, because we literally have a local supplier for here. Not where I'm going, unfortunately. But you can grow blueberries here in South Africa. I think it's a certain variety, and it's like super secret, that variety. Like what happened, you know, like this is, I don't know if I'm even allowed to technically say this stuff. I didn't sign any NDA. So a dude took one of these plants with him to his place of living, you know, because he wanted one of them that were all, so they literally shipped in the actual little sprouts, the little seedlings or little small plants, you know, into the farm. Every little farm plant were accounted for. And then they found one of them at a person's, you know, abode. And they lost the contract. And after having planted all of those seedlings, they got ripped out of the ground and burnt. Yeah, fortunately not all of them, but yeah, we can grow blueberries here, fortunately. They like the Midwest acidic soil. You can do soil, bro. Soil is easy peasy. You can pH your soil. No direct sunlight can also be done. Right? We can grow those blueberry bushes inside our homes, close to a window. You know, we can like super crop it even against the window. So you might have like a small little hole to look through, but the rest of it is just like plant-eating sunlight to produce blueberries inside your home that you can go and pick yourself. And maybe even like my ideal, you know, like long-term dream is that you have like a little robot that will like pick the fruit for you and make sure it's in your fridge so it keeps longer as well. Damn right, I want an exosuit before my joints lock up. Soon, bro, soon. We'll do it though. Simon, I used to be able to get Fentimans, Dandelion, and Burdock soda here. I don't know any of those. My favorite soda ever. Now we can't get it. Not even online. Just check it out. Clever 2 and jewelweed and stinging nettle. If you boil it, dandelion is a diuretic. Diuretic. So it makes sense that that would F with the meds. Oh, absolutely. Guessing nice. It's nice when they guess on stream. Okay, I'm happy that your friends like it. Bless you. Mel, no bodies of water that aren't frozen solid. I did have an Epsom salt bath yesterday. Might need another one. Treat yourself well, dear friend. I just want the best for you. You know that. It just changes things when the bodies of water are literally frozen solid. I think I call jewel weeds sorrel. I don't even know. I don't know any of these things your friends are talking about actually right now. I will never forget the first time I stepped on stinging nettle with a barefoot. I was too young to know that it was happening, but holy crap, you learn that one fast. Yeah, stepping in thorns as a kid was definitely, it was like one of those things that I was like, bruh, this life thing, what the hell? Stepping in thorns. Because I remember at that time of my life as well, it's going to be 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds right now. Yay. Like I heard this story of a dude who stepped in a thorn this long and it went straight through his foot and it pointed out the other side. And it messed with me. I couldn't, for the life of me, really explore the world as I used to be able to anymore because I was like so scared. Because you hear that happen to someone and suddenly in your mind it becomes a much bigger thing that actually is, right? Like you think it's common because you heard it once. Considering the worms you were going to buy were destined to be fish poop, I'd say they're moving up in the worm world. Yeah, not even fish poop, bruh. More just like fish mangled bits because the fish is technically supposed to come with it. Right, and those poor worms start turning into only like pits of itself. So maybe some of it would be fish poop. You're right. So yeah, I agree, dude. I think they're gonna have a good further life. I don't know if they'll procreate. Do they procreate? Do they have to be ripped in half? I wasn't planning on doing that. I wanted to keep them big and strong. Facts about stinging nettles, broken edge, incredible. They actually make an incredibly balanced and rich fertilizer from simply soaking them in rainwater for 5 days in the sun. The stinging nettles, I didn't know that, bro. That's really cool. Simon, I didn't even know to have a dog here on the prairies. I think my mom had some ointment of some. Don't remember. Stinging nettles hurt so bad because the needles are hypodermic in design and inject the same acid compounds that fire ants bite into you. Bruh. That doesn't sound like a good time, dude. That's pretty rude of you, stinging nettles. Considering the worms love again, stinging nettles. Another good reason to have gardening gloves, long ones. Yeah, get your forearms covered as well. It was a tough time, but I survived for the better. I hope you continue to, dear friend. Lurk right on. Duty calls, bless. Melt, if you have a bit of extra cash and some electricity, an AeroGarden is a pretty idiot-proof way to grow herbs, salad greens, and even tomatoes right in your house. Hey Google, can you show me the AeroGarden? I have an AeroPress to make my coffee. Yeah, the problem is actually lighting, Like, that is really cool. I like that. It's like a small little indoor grow area. It seems to be hydroponic. I don't know if I'm seeing that right, but it looks like it. Yeah. I am going to be growing things though this year. I don't think I'm going to be that documentary here on my YouTube though, not on this one. I don't know if I'm already community striked. I don't think so, but I don't really want to be. So maybe I'll start a second channel to post all of that stuff. I'm thinking about the name like Mary Melt, like Mary Jane, but Mary Melt, or Smoke More. That one feels a little bit cringe. Works though, smoke more, I don't even really know if I want to just encourage that. I don't actually smoke anymore, technically, so, don't smoke anymore. That one feels even worse. Melt Mary. Melt Jane. I don't know. Maybe you friends can give me one. Are you on all messages? I don't think so, actually. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder. I I'm still on the Louisiana melt if you have a bit of cash. Comment. Now the next one is Zano. It takes about 30 seconds to 2 minutes before my body reacts to them nettles. But when they do, it's like 20 minutes of wanting to peel my skin off. I have found if you scrub alcohol into the injection site right away, it makes them go away faster. Good to know. I don't think we have stinging nettles here in South Africa, unfortunately. Bro, I'm specializing in micro tomatoes this year. This plant grows max 1 foot tall and in a 6 inch and in a small 6 inch pot. Perfect for tabletop gardening. That does sound good, dude. And you know, people do actually like those little tomatoes. They serve well as like snacks to be eaten just like that, and as like in salads as well. I can see there being a market for it. I remember the next time I did nothing but freak out and hallucinate. The freaking out probably didn't help. With the stinging nettles, suddenly start hallucinating. You know, I mean, you did mention it injects acid into you. You know, I didn't know it was that kind of acid, but in my world, you might as well be lying. Sana, I get it. To me, that's the worst pain I have ever had. The displeasure of being poked by. Did you see stuff when it stung? I saw like blurry rainbow targets over everything. That is pretty trippy, actually. What an amazing mushroom. Bless. It's decorating the tree so glamorously. Have you seen that one, or is it the first time? It is gorgeous, right? Like the orange, you know, creamy colors. Looks almost like cordyceps. Cordyceps are a lot smaller in scale, you know, in comparison. But, you know, I like the way cordyceps look as well. Zano, I do remember when I stepped on it the first time, it was more like just pain. I do remember some kind of panicking feeling and thinking it would never stop hurting. Zano, I did not. I have a very abnormal pain sensor system, just pain that leads to anger because I couldn't fight the pain. Oh yeah, Chicken of the Woods is here, but I hear the real treat is morals. Yeah, I want to try those as well, actually. And I have tons of them in the woods, bro. Don't you threaten me with a good time, Duck Dad. We'll go pick some mushrooms when I come over one day, man. That sounds like a fun time. Like, I would love doing that. Elbow, I tripped. Part of the delusion. Only see the false morals here in New Mexico. That's sad. Ugh. Zano, some people, when they feel a really intense pain, it triggers all kinds of stuff in the brain. Not strange at all. Not at all, yeah. I need to know everything about these secret blueberries. It's pretty trippy, right? I think it might just be some sort of like genetically bred, heat-resistant blueberry strain. You know, I don't even know if strain is the right way to say it, but I know the word strain, so I'm gonna use it. Like blueberry strain, and yeah, if you have something that you've been genetically breeding, you know, it's like R&D, it's like IP. It's like an IP kind of thing, I believe. I'm gonna come back and yeah, get my right. Need to get some feel on the other side of my face. Ew, man, my body is pretty taxed. I feel heavy and tired a little bit, actually. It is going to rain again tonight. At least it looks that way. Ugh. Ugh. I need to probably put my plants away again in that case. Now my plants got beaten to the ground a bit still. I did get to move them out of the way before it was an absolute disaster, at least. Yeah, we're still gonna have to deal with the wind, but this is it. Hey, I see Nancy. Blessings to you. Melting pot. Yeah, that's the right one. Man, you see. This is what collective consciousness does, you know? You suddenly become smarter because there's people smarter than you. Thank you. I like that. Melting pot. More Juana. More Juana is also so good. Keep growing. Where's there's smoke, there's smell. keep growing instead of keep smoking. I like that one as well, actually. Grow more. Grow more. Grow more can also work in that case. Because that one is like still a positive message, right? Melt more to me It's like a call to melt your ego. Right? It's good to have an ego, but you can melt it and recast it and still be okay on the other side. So grow more. I can also see myself using more Juana. I really like that, and it's so cute. Melting pot. Melting pot, I feel, is very good because I've been using that word. Like I want to make a little coffee bar, like a coffee shop one day that I want to call the melting pot. Because it feels like so just apt. Surely there's gonna be pots to make the coffee in. They're gonna be melting. We're gonna be smoking some bud. Melting pot is pure genius. I also really like that one. Yeah, it feels appropriate. It can be like a place to archive and document as well. Fine, I'll make some videos. It'll be fun. Zano, some people when they feel. I think I've read that one already. New blueberries, posting and interesting. Oh, thank you for the article, bro. Yes, the Aero Gardens just add water and liquid plant food at certain intervals. The light are on a timer, and when the plants grow, you move the light up higher and higher. That sounds like indoor growing, Louisiana. I do actually want to try hydroponics as well, but someday as well. I might end up doing that. I might end up switching straight from going outdoor. Ooh, beautiful lightning strike. Just let's do that. Let me show you the other side, maybe. I'm gonna have to move my stuff. Ooh. Suddenly the wind direction changes as well. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I would like to go straight from growing like live soil, to trying hydroponics if I do move indoors, because I'm going to have to spend a lot of cash if I'm going to be moving indoors, because I'm going to probably have to get batteries as well because I live in South Africa. And just that means I'm gonna have to be in like the thousands of dollars budget, so that one is far away. Has anyone here had hashcap berries? They're sometimes called honeyberries or blue honeysuckle. They look like elongated blueberries, like tubular. They're amazing. I have not had those, but I feel like I'm instantly experiencing extreme FOMO. That sounds amazing. Those plants come from a dude like me. They actually come with warnings on them. Not propagate until penalty of law. Yeah. Exactly, dude. So you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's secret. Blueberry Row, Northern High Bush, Southern High Bush, and Rabbit Eye. Thank you for letting me know that, bro. I should grow myself some blueberry bushes. Maybe that should also be something I do this year. Is that fly on me? Yes, you doing. Love is true. Meltuana. Where they smoke this melt. Melting pot feels like it might be the one. The potted melter. Fractal flower. I like that one too. Fractal flower. The problem is, I think melting pot might actually already have a taker. So we might end up picking the name that we can actually get. Nice. Melting pot is pure genius. Broseph. I have a few hippie friends and a future Buddhist monk that will take up mushroom hunting. That sounds like great fun. The melting pot sounds like a third space that I would want to spend a lot of time in. Bless. I like it's so trippy that you say exactly that because that's exactly what I want it to be. Louisiana is that third place, right? To friends who don't know what a third space or a third place is that we usually have like our home and our place of work, and we need a third place, right? That's not home, that's not work, that is another place. And I want to create that another place for people to go and spend time. Talk to like-minded people, if you will. We'll have a cannabis cafe. Yes, absolutely. You know, and I'll need a graphic designer to make it absolutely eye-poppingly, jaw-droppingly, mouth-wateringly appealing. You know, people will. Let me pull it back. People will swerve their cars into oncoming traffic, nearly missing every single one of them to get into the parking lot of the melting pot. Right? Doesn't that feel? Yeah, it feels nice. I like it. Oh, fondue mio. Zano, you would think, but it ended up becoming the cliched spot you take your date to. It was like $100, two people plus drinks. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to exploit people. You know, ideally, things would be free. Ideally, it would be memberships. People would pay a membership fee, and then they would get everything inside for free. You know, which is might maybe like be a little bit counterintuitive, but I think people will go for it, right? Because then we can create the culture of you don't have to pay for things in here. You know, if you want to get a coffee, you get a coffee. If you want to smoke a joint, smoke a joint. You know, you've paid your membership, you've paid your dues. You can do as you do. Because like the way I see it is, you know, like the energy of having to take your wallet out and weigh things out and, you know, purchase it and like that sense of I guess, you know, my mind is like starting to school me as I'm trying to think about the logistics of it, and it's like it's never gonna work. I'm like, hey, don't you never me, bro. I don't like that word. Okay, let me go back to it. Novelty thing at parties, a fondue restaurant. I've never been to one myself. I would probably want to go to though. We have a restaurant here in Emo that advertises throw the rolls, as in they throw the bread across the restaurant, which usually only happens in quirky families. I mean, if I'm going somewhere and they're throwing the bread at me, I don't know if I'd be that upset about it, you know? It's novelty. Again, that's novelty as well. Forget about the place. A long place. Shock. What the heck? $100. That's expensive night farts. Yeah, just ripping cheese farts in the night. That should be their slogan. I'd love to live at such a place for a while and just move into another co-creative place afterwards. Find yourself growing. Like, I don't know if this place that I want to build, at least at first, is going to be residential. It might be. You know, again, I might actually build a bunch of residential spaces, and then the people who want to live there for free does so taking on the responsibility of the space, you know. Like, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it work. Give you friends a place to come to if you come to South Africa as well, right? You might have tuned in so many times into the melting pot. Change the name to Melting Toots. Melting Toots? That's too close to Melting Tits. I'm sorry. I can't do it, Zano. Zano, if you have those, it's time to see a doctor. Yeah, it might be a microbiome thing. I get my farts the old-fashioned way with stress and Oreos, face melting cheese toots. I don't have a third place other than here. This is a third place in a way, right? This is not work. This is not technically home. This is a third place that we choose to come together. I am running out of time. It's letting me know that it's gonna rain on me soon. I'm sorry. No, I'm okay. I'm not lactose, but my sister is, so I have the experience of the smell. Okay. You've experienced the secondhand explosions. It would be optimal to be a hemp village. Yeah, so nothing will ever need repairing. Have you seen? Oh goodness, it's starting to rain. I freaking knew it and I didn't listen. Like the universe let me know. It was like, hey, bratan, I'm gonna start running like now. And I was like, I'm gonna chitty chatty a little bit longer. You can see. Okay. There we go. Dryer. Sobiki. Okay. Okay, good. Heard distant thunder. I hope that we get like a nice and loud. That's what I'm hoping for. If you're hearing weird sounds, think Yudi is having hiccups or something. The fractal of two sisters trying to outgas each other by what they eat is hilarious. Melting tits by Salvador Dali. I can 100% see him making a melting tits video. Battle shits. Zano says one thing behind the shower curtain giggling about, please. Where are we going with this chat? I'm gonna just dissociate. We're gonna pull a card now? Yes. Card time. Card time. God, bro. If your sister knows she's lactose intolerant and she still chooses to eat cheese when she gets in the car with all of you, your sister is not a good person. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say stuff like that. But seriously though. Bro, the stream went smelly. Yeah, it happened so quick, dude. Before we knew it, oh, it went off the rails. Look at Pippi. Pippi's like, what? She's like, what? Are we looking at me? Yes. We're looking at you now, Pippi. It went south. It's south quick. Pulling cards? Yes? Yeah. What card are we gonna pull? We have Simon guessing a 61. That's very specific, girl. We have Zano guessing green. I don't know if card number 61 is green, but this one? If nothing needs repairing, what to do with Doug Dad? Yellow? All of you have been wrong. It ain't card 61. It ain't green. There is some yellow. There's some yellow in there. There's some green as well, technically. Is that a nice orange? There's some orange. There's some orange. But we got this card. Look at that. Get that third eye. I guess card. It is probably card. Look at that. Earth Prayers. I love this card. This is a good one. Card number 4. Earth Prayers. Yay. It's a card. I win. You were right. Look at that. It is a card. And I mean, look at that green on that card as well. Look at that. Look at that earth being so beautifully green. From our perspective, this scene technically is green. Look at that. Look at all that green. So much green. I got my bro. Energy is done. Oh, nej men då stan. Okay, it's okay, ja. Ach, siguro na may planten met gaan Skype of iets see. I should probably do that. Card time first? Fine. We'll do card time. Yeah, movie magic. Me being super meticulous about what is and what isn't in frame so we can maintain the illusion that things are as I want them to be. A client is in a different time zone and just texted me asking why I wasn't in our meeting. It's 7:40 a.m. here. Be like, hey, person, the world doesn't revolve around you, Mr. Client. Have you thought about time zones? I don't know how you handle something like that. Bless you though. Praying for Earth, the blue world wonder. Let's pray for our planet. Earth prayers. What prayer do you have for the planet? Again, right? Today's stream topic was about if there's nothing you can do to help, what can you do? And praying feels like a little bit pretentious, but I do believe in the power of prayer. I believe in it from the perspective of energy being channeled towards a shared belief, right? And that's why I don't really think of prayer as something bad. I just think of it as something maybe ill-applied right now in our world. Instead of praying, to something, for something, we can pray in the capacity of imagining, right? What world do we want to see? That should be our prayer for our planet, right? Not, please put your entity here, solve world hunger. No. What does our Earth look like with world hunger solved, right? What are we keeping ourselves busy with? What are people's quality of life like? What are their priorities? That's how I think of prayer, right? Like it's an active manifestation in your mind, even if it's low bandwidth, even if it's not complete, even if it's wrong. Pushing ourselves towards this better future by praying for it, is something you do in your imagination. Client in Tennessee, Sam, they're getting charged for the text I charge in 50-minute increments. Nice. You get that though. Pray, we love where we are. Bless. Make a cardboard cutout of yourself for the early meetings. I love that. Would you like some pre-recorded Sam refusals? Past tense manifestation, present tense manifestation. Literally, Luke. Bless you, bro. Let's read card number 4. Stewardship and sustainability. We talked a lot about plants, right? We did. Stewardship is kind of like taking care of the earth. What a trip. Like the way these cards kind of like have this way of being really in my face, being like, yo, you think you're clever? You think you talky something interesting? I know you. I know what card you're gonna pull 1 hour and 47 minutes from now. You can't hide anything from me. Stewardship and sustainability. Embedded in this card is a complex geometry that begins as the flower of life and then transforms into a tetrahedral pattern, forming a protective divine matrix around the planet. From the birth portal at the center of the Vesica Pisces, our home, Mother Earth shines in beauty and grace. Many colored hands surround and reside within these patterns, symbolizing participation of all beings in stewardship and sustainability. Stewardship denotes understanding that there is spirit in everything and that everything is connected. It implies awareness that each of our actions, whether it is growing a vegetable or a marijuana plant, cutting a tree, or using natural resources, it affects the whole. Even our thoughts have this power. Being stewards of the earth doesn't mean living without abundance or placing judgments on the actions of those, on the actions of others or ourselves. It does mean living with a sense of connectedness and relationship with all beings and respect for the earth. Several indigenous tribes believe we must consider the effects of all our actions and demonstrate stewardship to the seventh generation. How might your daily actions and decisions be affected as you consider their effects 7 generations into the future? As you consider this question and feel the tenderness of this time in Earth's story, realize also the power of your prayers and intentions. See and feel the earth as abundant and self-sustaining. Present tense manifestation. See and feel humans treading lightly upon her land and making decisions that will defend rather than wound the earth. How can you more fully live with an attitude of stewardship? Yes, Turkish. Hey, Metin, cool. Yes, you. You are loved, dear friend. All of us are stewards of the earth. We're sent here to help her. Thank you, Mama Gaia, for raining on us, for pouring down water, for giving to the earth. There's nothing I could do to deserve this much love, and yet Mama Gaia gives to us ceaselessly, relentlessly, unbiasedly. Yes, Turkish, how are you, man? Even better with you here, dear friend. I'm guessing you're from Turkey? You are Turkish? It's nice having you here, dude. Did you find us on the YouTubes? Yow! I am in South Africa. It is raining here. I mean, it's still a scene, right? It still looks kind of nice, actually. I'm just getting micro splattered right now. Part of me wants to play my kalimba, but the part of me that doesn't want to is the part of me that's getting rained on. So maybe I can push this back a little bit more. I'm gonna have to go and get it though. It's in my computer room. Refreshing rain weather. I'm going to point this towards the rain for you friends. And I'll be back. And, okay. Mini disconnect for a second, but I'm coming back. All right. Back again. Yeah, see? I'm getting a little bit soaked. Oh, please stop dropping my things. Okay. It got better for a second. Pretty scenery. I'm so happy you friends enjoyed it. I do not understand your language, but I do believe you're sending us blessings. Thank you, dear friend, for sharing your love with us. Your words, even if we don't understand them. Maybe there will be a Turkish friend far in the future who can. I woke up in the wee hours and it was raining and it was wonderful between my warm bed. I love that feeling of that safety and security of your warm bed. Nice weather. Okay. I'm all caught up. My microphones are right here. Yeah. Mama Gaia lives. She lives unapologetically, beautifully, energetically. Wow, big lightning, be careful, Melty. I'm so fine, dude. We have like an anchor or a ground sticking out of the ground there as well, so if it was gonna strike here, I wouldn't be the closest thing to zero, to Earth. I like the content, dude. It looks soothing. Bless. Thank you, friend. I do these every day. Every day. Like every day. We show up for love. I try to talk about whatever I'm going through, whatever lesson the universe has provided me as important, as significant in my experience, and then I try to share that with you friends. I appreciate you for joining me. You are the one that's making this experience what it is. Kalimba time of the rain pitter pattering. Let's go. Hot diggity damn, that was a experience. I had fun. Felt like me and Mama Gaia was having like a whole conversation. Oh, crickety crackety neck. The storm is right on top of you. Yeah. It's coming down right now. I need to go get my plants. That's what I need to do right now. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you, friends. Doing it every day makes you more relaxed and makes you feel alive. Yeah, I think it does. It like reduces the stakes for me a little bit, right? It doesn't have to be more than me. So freaking beautiful. No you. No you. That freeze face was great. Inherently comical. I love that. We love you. Flippy flap feeds. So much love in chat right now. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Men are stuck by lightning 4 times more than women. Guess we're just that attractive. Yeah! I'm sorry. You can now proceed to cancel me. Have the most fulfilling. Have the most fulfilling day, everyone. You're for super users, super massively and very muchly, mucho grundo cherished. Munificent, melt more, and all of you oh so very resiliently, bravely, gracefully, impressively, steadfastly, tenaciously, confidently, courageously, optimistically, unwaveringly, authentically, wholesome humanimal critter creatures doing what you can with what you got. Thank you, dear Jovan, for your love, for the effort, for your showing up. Every single one of you friends, I sendeth you blessings. So much love. More love. Because we stupid stubborn. Oh yeah. Ain't that true, bro? Oh, yo! I'll leave you friends like this for a bit while I run and fetch my plants. How's that? Does that sound like a cool trade? You might lose me for a bit though. I'm gonna leave my technology underneath the shade. Skip dee bop dee boop dee boop. Skibby bop ba da bop bop. Scooby boop bop boop ba doo. Boop 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 scoop. Scooby doop boop dip boop scoop doop doop scoop. Boop scoop boop. Skibby bop dee boop dip doop. Okay. I'm leaving you friends here. Let me see if I can get this accentuated in a way. What about the red thing sitting out in the rain? I don't know why it's sitting out there either. My brother parked it there, so I guess that's where it's parked. Did you see that? That was like her signal. Okay, I'm gonna have to go here. So let me see if I can get that little spot like that. Yeah. Alright. Push me rock. And just like that, we are done. Our stream has come to its conclusion. I lost count. Can fit 99 red balloons in 200 character limit. The more you know. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for celebrating with me. She wants to watch you eat breakfast melt. Not sure where that came from. Me eating breakfast. I don't know if I can make that wish come true, bro. I don't really like being watched getting eaten, so I don't know if I'll film myself doing that. The German version is so good too. I remember it from Eurotrip. Eurotrip takes me on a whole trip just hearing that word. Just hearing the name of the movie. Okay, it's time for me to say goodbye. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me again. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Till we do it again. Cheers, cheers, everyone.